find the root of a polynomial x power 5 minus 3x square plus 2 which is congruent to 0 mod 7. These are all very easy problems. So this is of the form f of x is equal to a naught x power n plus a1 x power n minus 1 plus a2 x power n minus 2 plus and so on an which is congruent to 0 mod m. Therefore, by comparing these two, we can take f of x value as x power 5 minus 3x square plus 2 which is congruent to 0 mod 7. So this polynomial is our f of x. So next step we have to substitute x value as 0, 1, 2, 3 up to the value 6 because this m value is 7 here. So we have to substitute values up to m minus 1, that is 7 minus 1 is 6. Therefore we have to substitute x value as 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 6 and check the congruency. That means its solution lies in the set of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Or we can take this value as 0, 1, 2, 3. Here we can take in the place of 4 as minus 3. This is because here in the place of 4, 5, 6 we can write it as minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. This is because if we substitute x value as 4 for this, 4 power 5 we get a bigger value. So it is difficult to calculate the values. So to reduce the difficulty, we can substitute in the place of 4 as minus 3. This is because we know that 4 is congruent to minus 3 mod 7. This is because 4 is congruent to minus 3 mod 7. That means 7 divides 4 minus of minus 3. That is minus of minus 3 is plus 3. Therefore 4 plus 3 is 7. Therefore 7 divides 7 satisfies. Therefore we can substitute in the place of 4 as minus 3. In the similar way, if you substitute 5 as here 5 is congruent to minus 2 mod 7 because 5 is congruent to minus 2 mod 7 satisfies because 7 divides 5 minus of minus 2 is plus 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. Therefore 7 divides 7 satisfies. Therefore in the place of 5 we can substitute as minus 2. Similarly 6 is nothing but minus 1 because 6 is congruent to minus 1 under mod 7. We have to consider under modulo 7. So we can substitute in the place of 4 as minus 3, 5 as minus 2 and 6 as minus 1. This is because if we substitute bigger value means we get a larger value so that it is difficult to calculate the values. So to reduce the difficulties we are changing like this, or we can substitute x as 4, 5 and 6, or we can check the congruency also. Both are same. So we have to check the congruency, that is x is equal to c is the root of f of x under mod m if and only if f of c is congruent to 0 mod m. If this condition holds, then we can call c is a root of f of x under mod m. So first you have to check for x is equal to 0. That is, if we substitute x value 0 in this polynomial, we get 0 power 5 minus 3 into 0 square plus 2. That means here this value is 0, this value is also 0. We get a value as 2. So 2 is not congruent to 0 mod 7 because 7 does not divide 2. Therefore x is equal to 0 is not a root for the polynomial. In the similar way, we have to find for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, or we can substitute as 1, 2, 3, minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1. So next you have to put x is equal to 1 in the polynomial. We get here 1 power 5 minus 3 into 1 square plus 2. So we get 1 power 5 is 1 minus 3 into 1 is 3. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Obviously 0 is congruent to 0 mod 7 satisfies. This is because 7 divides 0 minus 0 is 0. So 7 divides 0 is nothing but 0 divided by 7. 0 divided by anything is 0. So it satisfies. Hence x is equal to 1 is a root for the given polynomial. Similarly, substitute x value as 2. That is, if you substitute x as 2 means 2 power 5 minus 3 into 2 square plus 2, which is equal to, if we simplify this value, we get 22. So obviously 22 does not congruent to 0 mod 7. So because 7 does not divide 22, so substitute for x is equal to 3. If we substitute x value as 3 means 3 power 5 minus 3 into 3 square plus 2. If we solve this value, we get 218. So 218 not congruent to 0 mod 7 because 7 does not divide 218. Therefore x is equal to 3 is not a root. Similarly, we have to find for f of minus 3 because if we can substitute in the place of 4 as minus 3, since 4 is congruent to minus 3 under mod 7. So if you substitute as minus 3, if you substitute x value as minus 3 means minus 3 power 5 minus 3 into minus 3 whole square plus 2. If we simplify this value, we get a value as minus 268. So minus 268 is not congruent to 0 mod 7 because 7 does not divide 268. Therefore, x is equal to minus 3 is not a root for the given polynomial. Similarly, we have to find for x is equal to 5. Here 5 is same as minus 2 because 5 is congruent to minus 2 under modulo 7. So substitute in the place of x as minus 2, we get minus 2 whole power 5 minus 3 into minus 2 whole square plus 2. If we simplify these values in the calculator, we get a value as minus 42. If we simplify this value in a calculator, we get a value as minus 42. Here, while substituting negative signs, we have to be very careful. Here this value is minus 42. Obviously, minus 42 is congruent to 0 mod 7 because 7 divides minus 42 satisfies. Therefore, x is equal to minus 2 is also a root for the polynomial. Similarly, we have to check for x is equal to minus 1, or we can check for x is equal to 6, which is same as minus 1 because 6 is congruent to minus 1 under modulo 7. So if you substitute x value as minus 1, we get minus 1 whole power 5 minus 3 into minus 1 whole square plus 2. If we simplify this value, we get a value as minus 2. So minus 2 is not congruent to 0 mod 7 because 7 does not divide minus 2. Therefore, minus 1 is not a root. Therefore, we have to stop here and check whether the congruency satisfies for what number. So if we substitute x is equal to 1, the congruency satisfies, and if we substitute x is equal to minus 2, the congruency satisfies. Therefore, we can conclude that x is equal to 1 and x is equal to minus 2 are the root of the polynomial x power 5 minus 3x square plus 2 under mod 7. Therefore, we can take this as x is congruent to 1 mod 7 and x is congruent to, here minus 2 is same as that of 5. So substituting positive sign here, that is minus 2 is same as 5. Therefore, we can take this as x is congruent to 5 modulo 7 are the solutions for the given congruences. This completes the problem. These are all very easy problems. It is very important means you have to substitute x value in the solution set. In that case, if we have 7 value, that is it is a congruence under 7 means you have to consider 6 solutions, that is up to 6, from 0 to 6 you have to substitute a value and find the roots for the polynomial.